Good morning. It is the AM show with Amy Bennett, and welcome this morning. I had a really good day yesterday. Let's see. I had that doctor's appointment. That went really well. I feel like we are in really good hands with the person that we are working with. We ended up not doing small group last night because there was a lot of people out, first of all. And second of all, Emma came up with a school project that was due today, and Scott was working an extra shift to make some extra money. And Scott is the engineer in the family, the true engineer, and it was going to take a lot of energy for me to help her with it. We had to go to the store and get some stuff, so we ended up canceling group last night, and we got the project done. It was I don't know if you guys have it. I think we had it in school where you have to put the egg, you have to build like a little container for the egg, so when it drops from the ceiling it doesn't break. That's the one we did last night. The two that I helped her with both broke, and then Scott came home and redid it, and then it didn't break the first time. So of course, like we all knew that was going to happen. Anyway, so this morning I have just really been drawn to the prophets. So I have been reading through Hosea. Hosea is, I don't know if you remember, but Hosea is the one where God told him to go marry an adulterous woman named Gomer and have some kids with them. And he was really displaying his love of Israel and Judah because they were he called them adulterous. He called them adulterous, that they had turned away from God. And yet, in that, God was so faithful. God was so faithful. And yes, he did bring some judgment, but also that he made a way, and he had a remnant. So I've just been thinking a lot about that, and what does that look like for us as we can also be quite adulterous and distracted and just wayward in our relationship with the Lord. And I was just when I was in Hosea, it pointed me back to Isaiah, and you know, I was just reminded how faithful God is to us and how much he loves us, even though we are quite adulterous at times. And I was just so encouraged by Isaiah 30:19. It says, "O people of Zion who live in Jerusalem, you will weep no more. How gracious he will be when you cry for help. As soon as he hears, he will answer you." And that's the God that we serve, is that when we call on him, he answers us. And shoot, I just lost my page. Sorry, guys. I was going to read something else from, let me see if I can find it. Hosea. Was I going to read from Hosea? Where did it go? Yes, I found it. It actually was in Isaiah 35, so I ended up there. And this is what I think that we might be able to take today. You know, maybe some of us are in that space where we're really distracted, or feeling really weak, whether it could be from something where we are walking away, or it could be something, just a difficult circumstance that we're in at the moment. And I just want to encourage us with these words from Isaiah. Isaiah 35:3 says, "Strengthen the feeble hands. Steady the knees that give way." I don't know if any of you feel like you have feeble hands and knees that are giving way. You can't even stand up. You feel like you can't even do the work that you've been called to. You just feel weak. He says, "Strengthen the feeble hands, steady the knees that give way. Say to those with fearful hearts, be strong, do not fear." And I don't know if any of you are going through a situation where you have a fearful heart. You're just scared of what is going to happen, how it's going to turn out, what is going on. So it says, "Be strong and do not fear. Your God will come. He will come with vengeance, with divine retribution. He will come to save you. Then the eyes of the blind will be open and the ears of the deaf unstopped. Then will the lame leap like a deer and the mute tongue shout for joy." And he keeps going, and then there's this picture, kind of eternal picture, and it says, "And a highway will be there. It will be called the way of holiness. The unclean will not journey on it. It will be for those who walk in that way. Wicked fools will not go about on it. No lion will be there, nor will any ferocious beast get up on it. They will not be found there, but only the redeemed will walk there. And the ransom of the Lord will return. They will enter Zion with singing. Everlasting joy will crown their heads. Gladness and joy will overtake them, and sorrow and sighing will flee away. And that was just so encouraging to me, that one, even in our ways that we turn away from the Lord, that he is faithful, and he just says, come to me, call to me, and I will answer you, and I will answer you. And he is there, and he is the God who can strengthen feeble hands and steady the knees that give way, and says, be strong, do not fear, because God is coming. And so I just want to encourage you, if you are feeling that way, you need some encouragement today for something that you are going to, and just this picture of the way of holiness, in one day that we will see when God comes for us, that there really is going to be a place where everlasting joy will crown our heads. I mean, that just a picture of joy. I know it's not like literal. But I just think that everlasting joy will crown our heads. We don't have to worry about it. There will be joy everlasting. It's coming. It is coming. And it says gladness and joy will overtake them. Can you imagine being overtaken by gladness and joy? I've had moments of those, but just living a full life, being overtaken by gladness and joy. That's awesome. I cannot wait for that day. And it says sorrow and sighing will flee away. We will, all the sorrow, all the sighing. You ever sigh? Like I feel like I do that a lot lately. Can I take this anymore? Can I do this anymore? And just the sorrow. We have so much, this world, oh my gosh, we have, just the stories that come, and just the sorrow that we can feel, not only in outside this world, but like inside our own families, in our lives, the sorrow that we feel for this broken world that we live in, choices that people make. But for those that are faithful to the Lord, sorrow and sighing will flee away, and gladness and joy will overtake them. And so I think it's encouraging for us that know the Lord, that is coming, but also that we would be encouraged and pushed forth to give that to other people. So there's this sorrow and sighing that people are feeling, and there is an eternal solution to that, and that we might offer it to people. We have good news. We have really, really good news that needs to be shared. And so that's just a good reminder for me today. And hopefully for those of you that need to be strengthened, going through something difficult, that whether it's something he's put in your life, whether it's something that you've chosen, that you will just turn to him, and it says your God will come. Your God will come. That is the kind of God that we serve. He will come. So I hope that's encouraging as we go into our weekend. This weekend we have our Strawberry Festival is what we call it here in town. There'll just be a lot of food, games. The whole town will come out. It kind of gets crazy for a couple days. There's pancake breakfast, I think, or I think it's maybe strawberry pancakes. I'm not even sure. I think there's car shows, all that kind of thing. It's just like a spring festival. So anyway, that's what we're going to probably do. Oh, and Emma's going to driving school tomorrow, like the official driving school. So that's kind of a big deal around here. So that is what's on the plate for us this weekend. I want to say good morning to people who ever join. I know Fridays are always hard for people to join. I don't know what it is. But Carrie, good morning, Carrie, and Jane, saw that you joined. So good morning to you guys. I hope you have a great Friday and a good weekend. And we will see you back on Monday. All right, have a good one. See ya.